All right, today we're working on a 2006 Infiniti QX56. This truck has a rear pinion seal on the rear differential. I'll get up underneath and show it to you here in a second. So here you can see the drive shaft. I've already removed one bolt. These are 17 mils on both sides. 17 mil. I've removed one, but we're going to replace this seal right in here. You can see here where it's leaking and it's just throwing everything back onto the rear differential where it's all gunking up like crazy and causing a leak. So we're going to get in, remove these four 17 mil bolts and drop this drive shaft down and go from there. Alright, so now we've removed the drive shaft, the four bolts, all 17s. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they're over there. So here's the, where is it at? This is the seal we got to get to. In order to get to that, we got to remove this piece off here, and there's a bolt in there. And I'm going to soak it up with some PB Blast, and then use the impact gun to pull it off. Alright, so you can see we removed this 30 millimeter bolt. Use the impact gun. What I do for a trick on these is actually set it to tighten first with the impact gun, just to get it to turn a little bit in case risk stripping it out or snapping it. So I set it to tighten on the impact for a few seconds, and then I put in reverse, and after a couple seconds she comes off without too much work. So now we're going to work on removing this guy right here. I'm going to work on tapping it out from the back. Once I drop that, might leak a little bit of differential fluid. I got the catch pan right here, ready to go. So I'm going to work on pulling that guy off. Actually looks pretty clean on the inside. I've already put some more PB Blast inside of there. I'm going to work on pulling that piece off. Alright, so I've pulled this piece off. It wasn't that bad. Gave it a few taps and she kind of just slid right out. So she's out. You see she's draining a little bit of fluid out, and you can see that seal is pretty bad. So we're going to go ahead and work on taking that thing off. They do make a spanner tool that kind of hooks in behind that and pulls out. I don't think I have one of those here, so I'm going to see what I can do to pop this guy off. Alright, now it's 2 days later. We had to do a special order on this rear differential pinion seal. This is the outer seal, and this is the part number 711088. So the old one's out. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up and get this one prepared to be put back in place. Okay, you can see the new one's in place. What I did was I used the old bearing as kind of like an outer ring for it, and I tapped it with a chisel, this guy here, the blunt end of it, this end of it, and I just kind of worked it in, and after I got it set in place, I used the thinner part and just kept working my way around until it evenly sat all the way around like that. So now I'm going to grease that up with some axle grease, this stuff right here, and then I'll put the yoke back in from there. Okay, I've gone ahead and put the yoke back in only by hand. I have not put the bolt in place only because I wanted to line up the drive shaft holes for the bolts perfectly, since the truck is not all the way up and the tires are still down. Rather than sit up here and take off jack stands to freewheel the rear end to line up the drive shaft bolts, since the yoke is so easy to go in and out, because I did put a good amount of grease on it. You want to line those, see the pattern of it. So now I'm going to put that center bolt in, tighten that all up, and then I'll put these four bolts in. So I'm going to move the drive shaft out of the way, grab that center bolt right here, push this guy into place, get this thing in place here. Alright, I'll grab the impact gun. Make sure she's in forward. Let me see if I can do this here. All right. All right, now she's in place. Let's get her in. All right, so now I've installed all 4 bolts. Clean it all up, tighten it all up. I'm gonna wipe this thing down. We should be all set to go. What we're gonna do now, let's see if I can get back here, is we are gonna attack this bolt right here. We're gonna go ahead and crack it loose, top off the fluid, and we're done. If this video was useful, please subscribe and reach out if you have any other questions about this vehicle or any other vehicle that I might be able to help you out with.